Hello and welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. I'm your host, Sidra Kennedy, and today I want to go over how AOC forced to unmask. She's been forced. Her hand was forced. She couldn't hide the business anymore. Just near the tail end of 2019, I said AOC is changing, and in roughly a year, you will not be able to recognize her. That's what I said. Now, granted, the reason I say a year is because of how quickly everyone forget things. But when people get caught up in how you are, they stay that way until there's such a drastic hit to them on how you have altered yourself. I mean, if you are the clown that plays all the time, always got a joke for something, don't have an off switch, people get used to that. They've been around you for like 5, maybe 10 years. And then all of a sudden there's like a 2 or 3 year break. And they come back, you've gone through changes, but then they're like, I haven't seen this person, it's been about 3 years, maybe 4, something like that. So, I don't know, he was always, or she was always this way. So, I don't expect much change. So then they see you and let's say you have actually changed. I'm not going to say grown because that's kind of dumb. You haven't grown. You just changed. You have better views or different views, better or worse, but you have different views. And then this person's like, whoa, man, they can see that you don't have that look in your eye, but they're still so used to you. I'm just waiting on it. You know that feeling, and I'm just waiting on them because they're going to do something and stuff. And because what they want is the same old. Because change of you means they probably haven't changed, and then they'll view themselves in probably a negative light. Probably, not saying certainly. That's what usually happens. So then what happens is you're like, hey, we talk, we chill. You crack a few jokes. There you go. I knew you haven't changed. You affirm that, but it's like, well, change what? You might not even notice your change. No one's probably even brought it to your attention because you're probably around new people instead of the same old. And then you're like, what? It's like, you was always this way, yada, yada, yada. It's like, oh, well, that's kind of still part of me, but I don't know. I guess I just don't really care to do that too much. And then they keep that look on their face kind of like, oh, I've been let down. It ain't that they've been let down about you. They've been let down about them because they went with a belief. That's the issue. AOC is a belief. She got onto the scene. She did her thing. What did she do? She Twittered it up. That's what she did. She was smart. Politically, she said, I'm going to the people. So all she did was get on Twitter because she was new. She won. She's feeling that rush. So everything for about a month, maybe 3 months maximum, everything was an epic political burn against somebody else. Another politician, whether it be Democrat or Republican, and primarily they were Democrats. Ilhan Omar and the others were not necessarily supporting AOC at the time. They were dealing with their own crap. AOC never jumped to defend them. They never jumped to defend her. They were never on each other's side until they were so much on Twitter fire, just going at these people. The famous first line of AOC is like, you tell me I'm in here with you, but the truth is you're all in here with me. And that got a pop from everyone. They're like, yeah, man, progressives, yes. And and social media elites, Kyle Kalinske and TYT and whatnot, they were all like, man, yes, we love this. But here's the thing. Once you get in, you need to get organized and do what? You need to start enacting policy. You need to push forward without any give, no compromise. We want this. That was the progressive way. That was how it was brought up. That's how it was talked. AOC did not keep going with that. She started slacking off on her epic burns and and bolstering about now she's there, she can do XYZ or attempt. Then it hit when the person says, hey, you want to get a seat at this table, but no one's going to listen to you. Why? Because you don't know how this game is played. So she exposes all this stuff. She exposes it, and we're loving it. She's a rock star. Yes. Thanks for exposing it. Problem. We already knew that's how it was. Anyone that follows some modicum of politics and understand in general what politics is. So for those that don't, what I watched earlier basically only confirmed everything that I was saying. I'm going to get to that in a moment. AOC, remember what she's done. Remember what she's done. But what happened? What made her galvanize briefly with the other progressives when she got labeled with them as the squad? It didn't take long. Trump and the others started calling them that after about 6-7 months or so, roughly. And it didn't take hold for another 3 or 4 months. Then they said, we're going to own it. We're the squad. The elite, the progressive elites were like, yeah, they call them the squad. This stupid is sick, but they're the squad. We're going to go with it. And so now they're the squad. So then they started talking and chilling together. And then they started going after Nancy Pelosi, trying to get people rallied against her. And that is when it all hit the fan. That's when it hit the fan. Then you've got AOC and all of them. You got, they kind of started halting what they were doing, what they were saying, and all this other stuff. And then started burning the Republicans only, leaving everything else alone. And then every once in a blue moon, a burn against the Democrats, then a burn against the system. They were advocating Medicare for all. They were advocating free college. They were advocating all this forward thinking, progressive, all this stuff. Yes. But then they slowed off. AOC started getting a little quiet about Nancy. The pandemic breaks in. That's when you want to come in as strong as you can. And she didn't. And that's when I really started letting you know, in a year, you won't even recognize this woman. And I just knew it. And then a month or two later, Nancy Pelosi is the mama bear of the Democratic Party. There is no progressive tactics, no progressive forwardness. She could have attacked Pelosi on her lavish lifestyle, her staying away from people, her leading a symbolic thing with African garb against an African American that's probably never been to Africa. So that exposes how they are. If anything, you could have found out something that he liked, something that he loved, and said, we're going to use this as symbolism. And in my eyes, I didn't see the kneeling for those 9 seconds or whatnot, or those 2 or 3 minutes. I didn't see that as for George Floyd. I saw that as representation of, we can mock you and show you how we can kill a black person, and you're going to be all right with it. And everyone's like, man, they doing the African thing and they kneeling, so they cool. While all the time, not one of these people are bringing up how many black women have been killed by cops, killed by other people. And there's been just as much them, maybe if not more. It's just that the guys get all the publicity. Why? I do not know. Listen to James Brown, It's a Man's World. That's the reverse of it all, but still, it's true to a great extent. Not 100%, but a great extent. Now, into the meat of this per se, because I don't want to go into all the details, but AOC on Twitter, because that's all she can really do, she can't do anything else, she has been exposed for exactly what she is. She's a politician. She is no longer a progressive. She doesn't back Medicare for all. She doesn't back free college. She doesn't back the end of police brutality by regulating them, defunding them, and allocating a lot of that money to a group a new foundation or anything that would take the place of those police officers' duties to help other people. You can take like $300 or $400 million of that money from the police, which then they would still be in the billions probably, and give it to people that are healthcare workers that can go and deal with people with mental illness and whatnot. That's what defunding the police is. She's not advocating for that. She might do some sick burns and get y'all to, it's almost like the Boondocks. Everybody is like Riley, when he was with I can't remember his name. Was it Thugnificent? No, it wasn't Thugnificent. Gangstalicious. That's who it was. And they in the car, and he driving. He's like, and Riley's like, "Hey man, you ain't strange." And then he's like, "Oh no, man, I ain't no Michael Jackson." Then, and then instead of thinking about, I'm in a car with a high-speed chase and my life is possibly in danger, he's like, "You said Michael Jackson, you funny." And then that just cleared the air. That's where everyone is when it comes to all of these politicians and rock stars and the strong incumbents. That's where they are. People don't want to try because they hear or see something funny, or they're given so much the worst on both sides that they're like, "Look, I'll just go for this one because we don't have options." You've had options and you didn't want to take them for whatever reason. Bernie Sanders want the best, but you didn't go out and vote for him. Al Gore got the votes, but nobody advocated that he should have won and talk about everything that was egregious on the Republican side and reverse the decision and get the Supreme Court to actually reverse the decision that was wrong, egregiously wrong. No one did that. Nobody tried that. They settle with what the politicians say and then wonder why everything is so bad. So AOC, she had the chance to do something and do something great. She didn't. Now she's turned it into politics. And I told you what politics is how you stall the people out so you can get what you want, and they have no idea how screwed they're being. That's politics. How do I get my money, my fortune, my fame, my power, and yet the people say, yes, go for it while we get nothing. We vote for you to do these good things for us. How do you get it so that we keep loving you, voting for you, needing you, and telling everyone we need to vote for you while you give us absolutely nothing? AOC found out with the youngsters, play some video games, do some sick burns, talk trash on Twitter, but then when it comes to enacting policies, voting for or against, to do nothing and go with the status quo and say that we've done all that we can, but we're going to work on this because we need these things that you people vote for. And they keep doing it over and over and over. And if anyone gets voted out, if the people vote anyone out, it will be progressives. It will not be these easy, money-grubbing, greedy, Democratic status quo politicians. It will not be them at all. It will be people who are new. Well, AOC, she ain't done nothing really, this person or that person is right. We're going to get her out. Yeah, we're going to band together and get her and Ilhan Omar and all them out. What about Nancy Pelosi? Now, I'm going to end in a little bit with where this came from so you can fully and thoroughly follow it. Because it's a 27-minute, 16-second video with a lot of ads, yes, but it details the whole story explaining her and how she was exposed. And she was exposed, if I had political jargon, I don't. I do not have that. That is not my wheelhouse by any means. That's not even my wheel, let alone in a house. All right. But my thing is, it's very simple. And that's how this person did this to her. It was this, he did this to her, and it was simplistic, but it was political jargon style. That's why I say it's not my thing. Hey, do you need Medicare for all? Well, yes. Yes, I do. All right, cool. Hey, did you know that these people are voting for Medicare for all? Oh, they are? Yeah. Okay. You want Medicare for all? These people, they are going to vote for it, but they have to get in to vote for it. Will you vote for these people? No. Well, why not? They're not in the party that I recognize. They're not in this party or in this wing of the party. Matter of fact, I don't even really know who those people are. They're going to vote for everything that you need, and without apologizing for it, they're going to get it for you. Yeah, but I don't know. It just don't sit right with me. I don't know these people, and I'm just not going to vote for them. I'm going to vote for the ones that are already in because they know what they're doing. They've got the experience. Well, yeah, they got the experience of screwing you over and never giving you what you want. I mean, they've been in all this time and you haven't gotten Medicare for all. Yeah, but you know what? Those people, they've got the experience, and these new people, it's just, I can't do it. I don't trust them. They might be for some good things. I'm not doubting you. It's just, I'm not going to vote for them. That is why we don't have good things. There is a reason why I cannot blame politicians. I can only blame the voters. The politicians can't do anything if they can't politic. They can't politic if they are not voted in. That's it. If you vote for those that are like, look, I am starving to get you what you want. Vote for them. Not just because they say it, but they've got a track record. And if they're new, you can actually say, hey, this is new. And if they don't do it, get them out. Vote for someone else. And if you know what you want and you know how you want it, maybe it's your turn to run. And if you think you can't run for office, be like, I'm not smart like they are. Let me tell you something. These people aren't smart. They've just learned where they are. Einstein was great where he was. Man couldn't tie his shoes. There were people that can, they can do the math equations to tell you how the galaxy rotates or how a storm can form and dissipate. But they don't know how to make orange juice. They don't know how to properly, cook a steak. They don't know how to make French fries. They don't know how to make a great vegan dish. And that's just with potatoes and zucchini. They couldn't do it. So it's not about how smart you are. It's about how intelligent and wise you are in your lane. And they've learned their lane damn well to the point where you think you can't do it. You got to stop that. You have to. I would be running for office, and I would be very unapologetic if I didn't have the illnesses and the rhetoric that would disqualify me. Oh, plus I don't have $4,000 to $11,000 either. There we go. And during a pandemic, I can't canvass because I don't want to die. High risk. Now, where all this stems from, so you can hear it in absolute great, well thought out, spoken, deciphered, linguistic detail, is actually secular talk. Am I a great fan of his? No. I watch maybe 1 out of 8 videos, or depending upon the title, I might watch it. My title here, my title here is basically a TYT title, but mine makes sense. Mine isn't just clickbait because she's forced to unmask, because the guy actually does it. But my goal in this video is not simply just to expose AOC, but to expose you to being a better voter, to expose how this game was slightly ran, because the guy asked simple questions and she started dodging. We want nice things. Yeah, but it's going to take something to get those nice things. Well, you could do this to get those nice things. Well, no, we can't, because we don't have the people on our side, but you have this. And if you have this, then you can do that. Yeah, but you know what? If we got this and that, it's just not going to really work. Well, what about this? That could work. Yeah, I agree. But you know what? These things right here, I'm not sure how well it will work and how long it'll work. We need something that's really solid. Well, you can do this and that and this and that. I mean, it's kind of what you got in there for. Well, yeah, but I'm not going to really do that either. AOC was forced to unmask. you know, and Kyle Kalinske does an amazing breakdown, and I don't want to step on his toes, but mine is basically, hey, I sort of pat myself on the back, but it's a sort of a Pyrrhic victory. Because, yeah, with this I win, but there's a lot lost because we need people on our side. We need people on our side, and it sucks that we voted in people that realize, hey, there's far more into this for me if I join them. Because Nancy Pelosi ain't gonna be doing this for the rest of her life. She's probably got another 20, 30 years of life left in her. I don't know her exact age, but I'll say a grand total of 40 years. AOC, young, upcoming, very passionate, very emotional, very assured of what she wants. And that, everyone, is exactly how Nancy Pelosi started off, because she started off extremely progressive. And she went in wanting to shake things up as a woman and get it done and do it for women, do it for the right reasons, make America better. And what happened? Now I know at the time 30,000 people are dead, but hey, you know, look at this designer ice cream. You know, this is great. I don't really need a mask. You know, I got these large refrigerators and whatnot. So, yeah, that is where we are. So I'm going to link it down in the description below the video. And for those that don't want to click the video, literally, this is going to mess with a lot of people's heads. But it said the title of this is for Secular Talk. That's the channel, Secular Talk. And the title is Force a Vote on Medicare for All. Then it says Jimmy Dore and Justin Jackson versus AOC. Okay, so that's the whole title. Force a Vote on Medicare for All, question mark, vertical slash, which is a spacer. Jimmy Dore, ampersand, Justin Jackson vs. AOC. All right, I've said my thing. I want to talk about things that I like, not all this crap. So I'm going to get to doing those short videos, and I'm going to put certain things on Patreon. I think I have to do the hidden thing, and then there's the link on Patreon. You can see it there on Patreon. That's if you even care. That's even if you care, you know. But that's what I'm going to do. So with that said, it's been Sidra Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.